Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another session of from Irinox. Okay, I'm Louis, corporate chef for Asia and Australia. Today is actually a very special episode because with me today, I'm honored to be able to invite traditional Chinese medical physician, Mr. Ngiam Jiqie, okay, owner of Red East Restaurant and also Chief Doctor of Norwich Tech Chinese Medical Center.
好，大家好，我是严医师，来自于红曲馆养正中药诊疗中心的主治医师。那红曲馆是我自己的创办的一个药膳馆，在马来西亚经营了21年，所以今天给大家呈现一下药膳是怎么样一回事啊，给大家做一做。
So, Dr. Ngiam just shared a bit of his background. So, if you are interested to know more about him, feel free to go to his Facebook, okay, and you can look for more information about what he do and also about his background. Yeah. Okay, I'm very interested to learn from Dr. Ngiam today about herbal cuisine and also his ideology of adopting cook and chill into his production. Yes, you hear me correctly. Dr. Ngiam has successfully incorporated blast freezing technology in his preparations and production for herbal cuisines. Yeah. So today, to start off, I have a very interesting question to ask Dr. Ngiam. What is herbal cuisine?
Herbal cuisine 是我们中医讲的就是药膳啊。那因为药膳这个名词，它其实历史不久，大概100年左右，不会很久。但是呢，古代要叫什么？叫做食疗啊，或者叫做药食同源。那这个发展就有超过了1000多几千年的历史啊。那包括了早期的西藏的一个医典的记录里面，包括喝水也是一个用药的一个部分。因为早期在西藏高山里面的话，因为干燥的气候，再加上饮食的部分在部落时代的时候，水呢是很重要的一个帮助消化的，所以在记录里面水也当成是药膳的一部分。所以药膳它的发展有超过几千年了，所以采纳这样的一个食物和药之间的一个概念，产生了所谓的药食同源，食物的食啊。那意思是说，在华人祖宗当中呢，是透过了身体去尝试不同的植物和动物，那在慢慢的在吃的过程当中，发现了对我们身体是有所帮助或改变的，所以因此呢，就慢慢发展出了所谓的药膳这样的一个概念啊。那比如说我举例一下，做生姜啊，生姜来讲大家都很熟悉，那大家都知道以为这个是就是一般来讲我们下厨所用的一个食材，但是在中医的处方里面常常会出现生姜这个中药当然在中药里面的药库的生姜就经过了一些泡制，所谓泡制是说拿生姜处理过后晒干之后，再做一些炒或者一些制作的工艺，让这个药物呢能够发挥到更好的疗效，这就是所谓的泡制。所以这个过程呢，就是我们讲的，就是如果是药膳的话，它就必须结合起来了，这样子。
Alright, so I will do a little bit of translation over here for everyone. Okay, according to Dr. Ngiam, herbal cuisine is actually part of the Chinese medical system since thousands of years ago, adopting the combination of food and Chinese medicine, targeting different physical constitution and diseases of a certain individual, right? Traditionally, it is actually known as food therapy because food and Chinese medicine, they derive from the same source, alright? So, Chinese ancestors actually tried to combine food and Chinese medicine, okay, and animals, and then they discovered that certain ingredient actually helps to improve diseases. Hence, the concept of food therapy. And an example given by Dr. Ngiam is that ginger. Okay, for us, ginger is actually a normal and common food preparation ingredient. But to Chinese medicine, ginger is also one of the Chinese medicine. So it has to go through some processes, okay, to enhance the medical effect of the ginger, and then it can actually be used with other Chinese herbs for medical use. All right. So next.
我再继续讲一下所谓的药膳概念，因为很多人以为说我把药材丢进去一个锅汤里面就煮出来就叫做药膳，其实不一定是药膳啊。那药膳有一个很严格的规定，它是要达到效果的话，它是通过很多历代医师在传承当中使用了之后呢，比方说刚刚讲的中药生姜在泡制过后，使用的过程当中有了病例记录，然后形成了证明这个是有效的。然后结合了中医的理论体系，它必须有一个 theory 去 support 它， 然后最后才归入到这个药库里面，我们常称为中药。然后我们拿这个中药呢，来作为跟食材结合在一起，就成为了所谓的药膳。所以我们也不难看到有一些食材它好像是中药，比方说盐，我们待会儿会示范的就是这个盐焗鸡的盐哦，就是古代叫大青盐，就是粗盐哦，也是作为药膳治疗的一个食材，也是一个药材，因为它有清热解毒的作用。然后到了今天，因为盐巴也变成了一个每一天都要吃的一个食材之一了，所以这里头药膳它必须是具备了草药的记载、医学的经典的记载，然后包括了它在结合食物有提供了一些营养素之外，然后又结合了现在要求的就是色、香、味、养、治。所谓色就是说在外观上我们要一定的摆盘，所以待会我会给它摆盘一个很好的盐焗鸡。然后还有一个香，就是香气要达到一定的味道啊。因为吃东西你必须要开胃，如果不香的东西不会有人想要吃，那这样的一个饮食传承就不会传下去。然后味的话就是大家讲食物的味觉要美味啦，所以这个也是我一直很坚持的，就是吃一道菜它必须要有很丰富的层次，有很丰富的味觉的变化，那这样子才能开胃。第三就是养，就是说我吃一道食物不单只要味道，而且还有营养，能够提供我的身体能够操作的更好。最后一个阶段就是说有目的性的，我要达到我的身体的治疗的部分。比方说我会针对一些糖尿病的患者，我们应该用什么样的药膳啊？针对一些高血压的，我们应该要吃些什么样的食材？那这个就是所谓的药膳。
Alright, so according to Dr. Ngiam, medical like herbal cuisine is not as simple as just throwing some herbs, alright, with the chicken, and then there you go, you have your herbal cuisine here. Okay, it's mentioned that this medical knowledge need to be passed down from generation of Chinese medical practitioners. Okay, they need to be supported by proven clinical experimental success, and when it's adopted into this Chinese medical system. Therefore, many common ingredients are also Chinese medical ingredients. For example, the darjing salt, or we call it the rock salt. Sorry, it's not the rock salt. This is actually a sea salt. Okay, it's another medical ingredient which aids to release body heats and detoxification when they use with other ingredients. But salt is also a very essential ingredient that we use every day, every time when we perform any cooking. Okay, this menu, herbal cuisine menu, okay, it can be considered as a herbal cuisine when it is supported by medical theory, recorded in the Herbal Encyclopedia, okay, clinical experimental record, and also complies to the Chinese medical theoretical system. Yeah. So, and combined with cooking and also ingredient handling, therefore herbal cuisine is much more complex.
Yes.
Okay, it is not so simple as combining random herbs with some chicken, random herbs with some other protein, and there you go, China herbal cuisine. Yeah. So, and as of today, okay, the evolvement of herbal cuisine from the era of food therapy until today we call it herbal cuisine is under the 5 stages of compliance, namely color, fragrance, taste, nourishment, and also treatment. Color, which means the product has to look so vibrant and attractive, number 1. Number 2, it has to be fragrance, okay, to attract the users. Okay, taste, it has to taste good. We actually understand that this is actually for nourishment, for the health of the body, but the taste is also very, very important. Next is nourishment values. Okay, and also it is actually a targeted cuisine. Okay, for example, as mentioned by Dr. Ngiam earlier, if you're on diabetic, okay, you have to take in certain herbs with certain proteins to aim for diabetes. All right. So thank you, Dr. Ngiam, for such a detailed explanation and background of herbal cuisine. Okay, next we will have Dr. Ngiam explain to us the cooking process of the menu of today, which is salted chicken with Luan's tea. Yeah, so this is the ingredient that we have here.
我们会今天只示范给大家就是盐焗鸡哦
，OK，
那就是用盐，就是用粗盐啊，这里一大包粗盐。粗盐的话，我们会选择来自于不同海域的粗盐，通常我会选择澳洲来的海域的一个粗盐，因为在那个海域里边，它的盐的那个咸度并没有那么刺激，而且甜度会比较偏高一点。那所以对于调药膳来讲的话，它不会说死咸那种感觉，这是很重要。第二个就是 在里面会配上了这个六安茶哈，大家都会叫它叫六安茶，其实读音是六安茶，它是安徽的一个茶叶。那这个属于黑茶类呢，它其实就是有疗效的作用哈，就是说因为茶呢本身就是一个制作工艺，它跟中药也是有一定的程序的工艺，尤其是黑茶，那它有具备清热解毒的作用。所以自古以来在处方里面，我们都会以茶入药，有这样的一个处方。那主要它又不是作为主要的，它是作为配料的，所以在药里面处方也是一样。那它而且它香气很好，所以我们用它来做熏这个鸡。那今天也给大家准备了这个鸡呢是属于natural farming 的，就是自然农耕的，就是放养的一个鸡，然后也吃一些马草，叫做马草鸡啊。那我大概讲一下，从药膳角度出言呢，它的性味中药讲的是性味，就是说其实它的功效，根据它的味觉来决定它的功效，它是咸。然后是偏于寒的，所谓寒就是说，针对一些热的体质或者热的一些症型我们讲的疾病的症型，那我们用盐来作为清热解毒的作用啊。所以第二呢，就是它本身归经于心肾，心肾就是说中医讲的五脏的心肾膀胱经是中医里面体系里面的，就是跟心气有关系，跟肾气，肾气就是发育或者是我们人体的生命的主要的源头。叫肾，它不一定是那个 kidney problem 然后还有膀胱，当然也就是装尿的那个储存的那个脏器然后它功效就是清热、凉血、明目，然后还有一个是润燥的这样的一个4大功效是这样子。
Alright, so allow me to just interpret the ingredient that we're going to use today. This is the Darjeeling salt, which is also the sea salt. It's imported from Europe. Okay, the reason why Dr. Ngiam select this particular salt is because of the nutritional value and also the mineral content that exists in this salt, and the saltiness level is also not to the extreme. So it is very easy to be used and to bring out the flavors of the chicken. And also this ingredient actually has some medical effects according to the Chinese traditional medicines. Okay, it can actually release body heat and also detoxifications. So when it is used with other protein, it can further enhance its medical effect. Okay, the next important ingredient, which is the Lu'an's tea. In Chinese medical cuisines or Chinese herbal cuisines, they use a lot of tea. Okay, because tea has this effect of releasing body heat as well, and also windiness of the body, and also it promotes sweat as well. So this is actually black tea, and it is being used to smoke together with the chicken later. Okay, and the chicken selection of the day is actually natural farming tea, natural farming chicken, alright, and it is being deboned. Alright, so when it is combined with high nutritional value of salt and also tea, then we actually can process a good herbal menus, herbal cuisines. Right? What about the
还有一个我们会用一个酱油做调味料，着色啦，就是说熏完之后，因为鸡还是上座就要讲到色香味嘛色的话我们要着色，让这个鸡会产生一个金黄色的那种视觉感，那你看起来会更开胃。当然酱油也是我们会使用我们自己的红曲馆的酱油，就是传统 traditional 的酿制的酱油去做会更好。
Okay, the soy sauce that they're going to use is actually a product from Red East restaurant themselves. Okay, they actually made this soy sauce. Okay, so in this menu itself, as you can see, we are using the 5 elements that we have mentioned earlier, which is number 1, this soy sauce is for the colorations, alright, and the tea is for fragrance, and as well the taste, the salt, and also the nutritional value and the treatment, right? Because when we combine all this, we can see it has the functions of releasing body heat, it has the functions of detoxification, it promotes sweat, and also it actually reduces windiness in our body. So this is according to the Chinese medical record. So we can start the preparation.
尝试一下做这样的道菜
Okay, so Doctor will start with the preparation.
So 很感谢我们今天这个现场一切都准备好我们就尝试做一做。所以我们首先是要准备这个鸡是2公斤以上的鸡，然后这个鸡的话，我是说去骨的就是我们先把那个脊柱和 大腿的鸡骨都去掉，它就成了一个扁形状哈。所以这样子的话呢，你在熏的时候，它就快速的可以熟。如果你整只鸡带骨的话，那个这样的盐焗的话呢，那会产生说你要花很长的时间。第二就是鸡会老，然后下面焦的，上面都还没熟。所以我们为什么要去骨的这个原因啊
So the chicken that we have prepared here, it has to be around 2 kg and it has to be deboned. Okay, the reason why for it has to be deboned is when we cook, we do not want to overcook the chicken because we know that with bone, it actually takes longer time, it's more difficult to cook, right? So when we remove all the bones, so we can cook the chicken evenly, right?
然后我们现在就试试看，我们先把这个粗盐先倒到锅里去啊。
Now the rock salt, we will put it at the bottom of the rock.
稍微铺多一点，如果要好吃的话，稍微花点成本啊。OK，
So we need to put adequate amount at the bottom. Okay.
还是不够。
Okay.
就根据你的鸡肉的那个面积来做铺面哈。
Okay. So we put it on depending on the size of the chicken. For 2 kg, we will be using roughly a little bit more than half of 1 packet of rock salt, sea salt. Okay.
那再看这个鸡已经是去骨啊，所以我们可以直接就铺在鸡面这个盐巴上。
Okay, this is the boneless chicken, and then we will just put it directly on top of the salt.
然后我们可以放一点点的粗盐在表皮上。
Then we sprinkle some of the sea salt on top of the chicken.
然后我们就可以开始开炉了。
Okay, then we can start to heat up the wok. 是用大火还是中火还是小火？
我们开始是用大火哦。
Okay.
开始用大火，然后它开始冒烟的时候，你就调到中火就可以了。
Okay, we will begin with high heat. Okay, when we see smoke, when this product start to smoke, then we will turn it to medium heat. Yeah.
对。我们可以盖盖，就等那个升温之后就可以处理了。
Okay. So what about the tea?
OK， 那来到这个部分的时候，你在煮熏这个鸡的时候呢，那我们就要准备茶叶哈。那茶叶大概你可以弄它10克，或者如果说你喜欢这个茶味更重一点，那你可以放20克。那这个常用量是没有问题的，好多它不影响怎么样。然后主要是你要用热水去泡它，过水，过了热水之后软化之后，然后待这个鸡已经熏焗到差不多金黄色的时候，我们才把茶叶撒上在鸡的面上，或者是铺到盐巴里面。为什么要这样做呢？因为这个烹饪方式是结合了熏的方式，我需要这个茶叶是透过盐巴在熏的这个就产生了烟雾，那个香气就是茶所挥发出来的挥发油香气，去熏到这个鸡肉上，那这个鸡就有这个熏香味，这个茶叶的香气。那这个是这样的一个做法哦。
Okay, so then we have 10 grams of this one tea. Okay, depending on the flavor, on your preference. If you like the tea flavors to be a little bit more enhanced, you can use 20 grams.
Yeah.
Okay, so the process is very simple. First, we have to use hot water. Okay, to soak it for a while, right? And then we drain it off, and then we can sprinkle it on the chicken. Okay, so when do we put this tea onto the chicken? Is when the chicken is golden brown. Okay, when we have actually prepared it, when it's golden brown, then we actually need to sprinkle it. We can sprinkle it on the chicken, and also we have to put some on the bed of sauce, right? The reason why is because we want to create the smoking flavor. We want to create the smoking effect, okay, to enhance the flavor of the chicken and also to extract, okay, the oil from the tea itself for the fragrance. Yeah, and finally we will be putting
把酱油再涂上去，就是好了之后，你再煮一点点，给它稍微加热之后，既着色又香气这样子。
All right, so finally, okay, when the chicken is almost done, then we will actually brush on some soy sauce for colorations. All right, so 这个要等一下 then we will just prepare. All right, so while we are preparing this, we are waiting for the chicken to be prepared. So I have another questions for Chef Nyan. Okay, in your restaurants, besides the chicken that you do cook and chill, what other menus that you prepare cook and chill?
我们也有准备了这个药膳炖汤，因为我是做药膳炖汤21年，主要是在临床上 治疗各种疾病。那比方说内科疾病呢，就是肝脏的疾病或者是心脏的问题。那包括了胃和肝癌这些都有治疗，癌症都有。那这个是药膳治疗的部分。但是如果要做一普及化呢，那不是说每一个处方都可以拿出来去卖的，因为它涉及到宪法。所以变成我们要去做一些普及的药膳的时候，我就才开始研究，然后开创了这个9种南洋膳汤。那为什么称为南洋？因为大部分食材是从南洋这里来的，所以我们就开创了属于南洋这里口味的一个药膳，可以普及化到所有人的几乎每个人都可以选择自己适合的药膳来喝。
Okay, according to Dr. Ngiam, with his 21 years of herbal medicine, herbal cuisines experience, okay, they have all this nourishment soup, but the problem is that targeting different diseases, different needs, right? But some of the ingredients or some of this menu need to have some prescription, so they cannot generalize it. But with all the experience that they have in the restaurant, now they are able to produce 9 different variations of herbal soup with different medicinal effect for general consumptions. Yeah, for example, targeting stomach. Okay, so they have people with weak stomach or poor digestive system. They can actually select the stomach nourishing soup. Yeah, targeting the spleen and targeting the stomach. This soup is actually a complementary nourishment. It is actually not a cure towards any stomach disease. It is actually just to nourish and just to complement. Okay, so for normal consumption, if you don't have any stomach issues, for normal consumption, it actually can strengthen some stomach digestive and also metabolic functions to prevent further disease.
是的，那9种膳汤里面我们就有好几种，就是药膳调味的部分啊。就是比方说有一道汤叫做养胃膳汤，那很多时候很多人调理，我讲说气血不足，就大家就会想到八珍汤，可是，在吸收八珍汤的时候，你需要胃要加强才能吸收，所以我们才会开放出一个养胃膳汤，先把自己的吸收能力和胃气先调好，调好之后你在补的时候，那八珍汤它就不会热。是这样的一个概念。其实很多药膳热是因为我们不能代谢，不能吸收。
Okay, so according to Dr. Ngiam, in the stomach, the metabolism of the stomach is actually very important. Okay, because when they actually issue you any type of nourishment, we need to have sufficient metabolic capability to process. Right? So the first thing they actually will nourish you is actually your stomach. All right? So here is some of the example or some of the products that they have. Okay. So Dr. Ngiam will introduce to you different type of soup. So this is the packaging that they have. Okay, as we can see, this is the packaging that they have, insulated. Okay, and can I open one of them to show? So inside, okay, it contains soup that has been glass frozen. Okay. So very simple, you just need to have a pot of hot water and have this soup directly dumped into it for regeneration. Right? So very easy, very convenient for consumption, and they have 9 different type of herbal soup targeting different needs. Right?
而且我们会有采纳的这个袋子的话，就是说，来自意大利的包装方式哦，就是现在人的生活。我们生活上大家都城市人生活比较忙碌，那你说90后或者尤其是2000后要会煮东西的人是很少，对吧？尤其是我孩子还是有机会接触到厨房，那基本上现在我们像我卖刚才那一只鸡哦，很多时候顾客会问，有没有帮我斩鸡的？我家里连大刀都没有，斩鸡的刀都没有，都有的，所以变成要帮他斩鸡，更何况是煮。所以我们生产这样的药膳的时候，我们会想到说，我要用什么样的方式让你很快就可以喝得到，尤其是办公室的白领阶级的伙伴们，你不可能在办公室煮东西，对不对？那我又要调理，然后回到家里，我要等我阿嬷的汤，要等到什么时候？阿嬷也不一定有空，现在可以煮了哈。所以这个时候你在办公室放这样的一个我们讲的这种汤哈，你只要有微波炉或者是蒸炉或者是煮水壶，加热之后丢进去，马上5分钟就可以喝得到这样的一个汤，而且是鸡汤，这样。
Okay, so this packaging is all from it's an Italian product. So the goal and the idealistic behind processing all these food ingredients is actually because number one, they understand that now the millennial generation, we are all busy working, so we don't have time to actually cook and prepare all this nourishment for ourselves. Okay, because all this requires time and also the knowledge behind. Okay, so we don't really have this knowledge about soup nourishment. Okay, so it will be easier, okay, if we can actually get pre-packed solutions, right? Even chicken, okay, when we go for chicken, we also ask them to be like cut it for us, you know, we actually need them to do all the preparation for us, because nowadays the kitchen at our home is actually very, very simple, small. Okay, it is not designed or it is not suitable for all these complex preparations. All right, so here the soup that we are going to talk about next. All right, so this soup that we are actually showcasing is actually called the cordyceps chicken soup. Yeah, so this is what we are going to showcase to you next. We are going to discuss about this cordyceps soup, but there is actually also a very interesting story behind this soup. Yeah, so I will invite Chef Dr. Niam to actually tell us what is the story behind this nourishment soup. Yeah?
OK， 这是冬虫夏草鸡精啊。那冬虫夏草在华人的世界里面都是一个首选的补品。那很多人不知道说冬虫夏草有一个很美的故事，而且跟大家有很大的关系的，那就是武则天啊。武则天是一个女皇帝嘛，大家都懂哦，是一个非常棒的哦，非常强势的一个皇帝啊，而且是女性的。那说起武则天呢，我们有很多人不清楚说。它就是考级，就是考科举考试制度的那一只黑手是由它推动的。所以我们小的时候会说，到底我相信每个人读书考试最辛苦的那段时间，都会想说，到底是谁在发明这个考试的？我一定要找他算账。OK， 每一个人都会这样想啊。其实就是武则天说是他推动的这种考级的一个方式，所以。考级呢，一直流传到现在，就成为了所有学生都要读书的一个考试方式。那个时候，武则天呢，因为她身体还有一些状况她有很多御厨在帮她煮东西嘛。那有一位叫姓康的，叫做康师傅。讲到康师傅，大家好像很熟悉，对不对？那康师傅呢，就给他做了一道菜，叫做冬虫夏草鸭汤这样的一道汤。那因为要治疗或者说针对武则天，当时她时常会咳嗽，所以就用了冬虫夏草去熬这个鸭汤。那当端上了给武则天的时候，因为武则天没有看过有黑黑一条一条的这个虫在汤里面她就吓到。那吓到之后，她就想说康师傅要谋害她，要杀皇帝，所以就下令把她关到大牢里面去了。所以康师傅是有经过这样的一个牢狱的之灾那康师傅有一个好兄弟，他叫做李师傅。那李师傅知道说这个菜汤是怎么样做出来的，所以他就会想办法说，为了救这个康师傅的话，他还是会炖这个冬虫夏草鸭汤。只不过这一次呢，他把鸭给塞到把冬虫草给塞到鸭的那个舌头下和咽头当中隐藏起来，让他继续的炖这个鸭汤给武则天吃。吃了一段时间，武则天感觉良好我最近的咳嗽好了很多，然后就非常喜出望外的，就是说邀请了李师傅说，你到底给我什么吃会好？那李师傅就终于把这件事情鸭汤和冬虫草给说了出来。那武则天还不相信，李师傅就从鸭的那个咽头那边就把冬虫草给拿出来给武则天看，看了之后再平反了我们这个康师傅所以后来康师傅一直活到今天据说有康师傅泡面这样子的一个这个笑话OK， 当然这个没有关系，这是搞笑所以冬虫草那个鸡精其实现在我们都用鸡精，是因为鸭的本身在市场上是比较在南洋一带大家比较不喜欢吃鸭，所以那我们就采用了鸡精来作为，因为鸡是入肺的，它也是帮助肺气的，然后讲的入精是入肺的。所以鸡汤会更响应大家，而且味道会更鲜甜一点。是这样子。
Alright, so this is an interesting story behind the cordyceps soup. So according to the history of China, okay, this has something to do with Wu Zetian, which is the first Chinese emperor of China. Okay, and as she is the one that actually promotes examination system vigorously. So during the days when we are in examination, when we are actually complaining who actually promote and design all this examination system, so she will be the one to get the blame, yeah, because she is the one who actually promotes all these examination systems. Okay, so talking about an emperor, so as an emperor, she will be served by a lot of royal chefs. Okay, and one day a royal chef named Chef Kang actually produced this winter cordyceps duck soups for Her Highness. Okay, in order to improve her health because she has a lot of coughing. She has been coughing and a lot of phlegm. All right, so during the process, when this soup was being presented to Her Highness, she actually got the fright of her life because of the insect look-alike vegetations, as you can see in the pictures. Okay, when it is being produced and when it is being prepared in soup and it's floating, it looks exactly like a piece of worm in it. So they get a misunderstanding that this Chef Kang actually wanted to poison Her Highness, and hence he is being imprisoned. All right. So with that, he has got Chef Kang has a very good friend which named Chef Lee. Okay, she actually wanted to help Chef Kang, and what he did was he secretly produced another batch of soups. Okay, the same type of soups, but this time, right, he actually hid the cordyceps in the throat and the tongue of the duck. All right, during the productions. So when Her Highness consumed and actually recovered from her illness, right? So then only the secret of using this cordyceps being revealed is actually this has the medical properties, and hence they are able to resolve the misunderstanding. And soon after, the news about the benefit of cordyceps is being made to be able to relieve cough, phlegm, nourishes asthma, and a lot of chronic illness use. All right. So this is an interesting story behind this menu. Okay. Previously, it is being used duck. They use duck as the protein, but nowadays is being substituted with chicken. Okay, because number one, the acceptance of duck among the public is a little bit low compared to chicken. Chicken is widely accepted and is widely available. All right, and it is a lot of it has a lot of properties, healing properties towards the lung. All right, so this is how this menu of cordyceps chicken soup is being prepared and being used for nourishments until now today. All right.
而且我再补充一下，我们一碗汤里面用的那个冬虫夏草去控制的浓缩度的话是，冬虫夏草是有20克一碗汤里面，这20克是相当多的一个分量。那但是这样的一个炖汤方式呢，就让我们吃的时候可以我根本可以就是加强我们的人体的补肾和补肺的功能然后还有一个就是 boost up energy 的那种感觉。
Alright, so the amount of cordyceps used in one portion is around 20 gram of cordyceps in this soup. So the benefit of having this cordyceps into this soup when it's being made into a herbal soup is that it has benefit to the lung and also to the spleen, right? And also it actually boosts the immune system.
Yes.
Okay. So next, my biggest question of the day: why cook and chill? Why did you use cook and chill? What makes you think that using cook and chill into your process?
是很多现在我们在医疗上，我们会遇到一个问题，就是说为了健康，我们就不要吃冰冷的食物，所以呢就会说，我去吃一个最新鲜的食物，然后新鲜的概念又没办法定义就是很多人不了解什么叫新鲜。那看回我们华夏祖宗里面，是不是都说不能吃冷食呢？那再加上讲生的中医的角度来讲，不能冷食，它到底讲的是什么样的东西？这一点不同然后回到看一下我们祖宗在中原中国中原那个气候，它都是一些寒冷的气候，都会有四季。所以有住过四季的国家，尤其在中国的话，你会知道说一年里面365天，至少有100多天都是冷天气。那更不要讲在中原那一带，就是零下20度的以下的都有，包括乌龙江。那这么零下30度左右的生活那你不可能可以种植任何蔬菜，所以换言之就是你不可能有新鲜的蔬菜可以吃。那再加上冬天大雪天，你不可能去打猎包括畜牧业在冬天也很少去杀，因为你这样子会很耗体力。那这个时候还是要吃怎么办呢？那就是吃很多肯定是冷冻的食物哪怕是你到湖边去抓鱼的话，一抓上来也就是冷冻。 所以在古代中医的角度并没有拒绝冰冻的食物。那为什么我们讲养生不能吃冷呢？我们讲的不能吃冷是餐盘上在桌上一桌的食物尽可能是吃温热。那温热的话，透过加热，第一食材的营养素会被分解，吸收的那个营养素会更多。第二就是热食，经过高温之后病毒就会少。那最近不是有那个 COVID-19 吗？那 COVID-19 的病毒也被研究说，一些专家说，有一些病毒就算在零下30度以下到80度以下，它都还能存活。是的，速冻的技术就是那么棒，就是在于它能够把生物或者是单细胞或者是一些食材的 texture 能够保存新鲜。那再说一个就是说，我们讲的医疗上的那个人工受孕的精子的保存就是速冻技术。那它是用液态速冻技术，是零下120度，能够存放10年，所以能够活10年在速冻之下的那个精子的话，那当然食材就肯定能够保存最新鲜。所以在古代，从以前我们祖宗里面就并没有拒绝说冷冻的食物是不能吃的，它是这样子。所以在这里的话，我们就谈到说，你看乌龙浆里边有一个做法，在冬天的时候。因为30度嘛，蔬菜不能种嘛，那你蔬菜也不可能放在地面上或家里，那个蔬菜一定会冻坏。他们就挖地10尺，弄个仓库，然后放蔬菜在里面。那个时候冬天也还能够吃到一些有颜色的新鲜的蔬菜。所以冷冻食品在古代一直都用到现在，而不是今天有了科技才用的。那我会想说，把药膳做成这样，是因为我们在厨房我们做的汤，药材汤它很敏感。所以你家里可能包括药材，你会发现吃不完的，你放冰箱，隔天就变味了。所以再加上你放鸡汤，它更容易变味。所以这样的一个技术，我一直要掌控，说如何把我的汤能够给到所有人都能够喝到呢？后来就是认识了这个速冻技术之后呢，我们就把我们的汤来做速冻技术。那当然，这个是一个比较稍微偏高科技的技术的部分，是非常讲究的不是家里的冰箱就可以冰冻的。那这样子做完之后，我发现我的汤非常新鲜。你放到，因为我们病人也常常这样子就是你给他的汤开的方基本上会照顾自己的人都不会来找我。OK， 所以通常来找我的人都不想照顾自己，所以你就算给他很好的汤，药膳汤、治疗药物，他可能大部分会不准时吃。那不准时吃你的汤，就要想办法去耐放。所以我们这个就解决了说，我忘记吃怎么办？你就算忘记吃了半年，我的汤还是新鲜的，在你的冰箱里面。所以这个就是我们想到一个很好的一个方法。所以这里头完全是跟我们讲的养生是并不违背的。是这样子。
Okay, so according to Dr. Yam, what he shared earlier, so he shared that traditionally, people also used to consume frozen products, especially during winter time. For example, in the northern part of China, where the condition of the weather is around -30. So how do they actually store veggies and grains? Okay, so what they did is they actually dig an underground basement as a storage because the temperature down there is actually higher. So the preservation of freshness and nutrition values of the ingredients is subjected to ingredient handling, preparation, cooking method, and according to the Chinese traditional health dietary, frozen product has never been rejected. It has always been part of their practices. So, why Chinese healthy dietary advise people not to consume cold food is actually referring to food that is actually cold on the plate, right? On the dish, when you are serving it, you're serving it cold, right? So, Dr. Yam also added that nowadays people were wrongly educated. Okay, people who know how to take care of themselves will not be looking for him. Okay, so people look for him because they don't really know how to take care of themselves. Number one, and number two, okay, he actually provides a lot of convenience. Okay, because all this, when patients come for nourishment, one of the challenges is they don't really eat on time. Okay, they actually wanted to easily forget when to take care of them, when to have to be consumed, when they have to actually prepare all this. So having this cook and chill product where product can be frozen, can be kept for a few months, okay, actually provide a lot of convenience to them, number one. And number two, during his process of preparing this nourishment soup, he actually realized that when we make nourishment soup or herbal soup at home, when we cannot finish it, we put it into our chiller. Most of the time, the flavors will actually change the next day. So the challenges from Dr. Yam is that how can he preserve the quality as long as he wants, as long and until we actually consume it. And one of the solutions that he actually found is using a little bit higher technology compared to what we have practiced during the day, which is using blast freezing. Because from his experiment, when they do blast freezing, this product can be kept for at least 6 months.
半年对吧
？6 months in the freezer, okay, without any change in quality. Hence, he actually now adopting blast chilling technology in all his soup nourishing preparation. All right. So, what we will have here, and thank you so much for sharing a lot with us. I think the chicken is now ready, okay, for the next step. So we will add a little bit of hot water. From here.
那我们鸡已经是熏到熟了哈，就会金黄色的。现在有挺好。
Now it is golden brown. So what we need to do is we will put hot water and rinse this tea, and then we will put it on top of the chicken.
我们会先把茶叶先过热水软化了这个茶叶，因为你太干，你放进去很快就焦化好就不好，那个味道就不好了。
If it's too dry, we put it in, it's actually get burned easily. So what we need to do is we need to soak it with hot water first. Yeah.
然后我们或者在等热水之前，我们先介绍，可以先沾点那个酱油哈。
Okay. So while we are waiting for the tea to be prepared, okay, we can actually brush on some soy sauce for colorations.
轻轻薄薄的一层酱油抹上去就可以了。因为盐巴沾的时候已经是够咸了。好，茶水再倒出来，不要那个茶水，茶水。我用完。
All right.
行，我们的茶叶就是要铺面上去哈，到那个很香的哈，这个鸡。
So after we applied a thin layer of soy sauce for color, okay, and also flavors, then we will actually add in the tea. Okay.
好，这个时候我们把锅盖上之后，我们火再回到中火，稍微让这个温度提高，然后去让茶叶有那个熏烟的味道，这样子的话会更香。
Okay, so once we put all the ingredient in the tin in, we will switch on, we will turn on to high heat, okay? So it will actually smoke, then we will put it to medium heat. Okay? 应该要多久？
我们大概是会再熏多10分钟，就5分钟就好了，就是只要有冒烟，再5分钟就可以了。
Okay, once the pot is start to smoke, okay, in another 5 minutes time, it will be ready. Alright, so next. Once it is ready, okay, the next thing we can do is actually to put it directly into the blast freezer to start the blast freeze. And then when it is frozen, then we can actually do individual vacuum packaging. And here we have some example of the regenerated product. Okay, so allow me to show everyone. So this is how the product is being regenerated, right? And this is how the packaging looks like. Yeah. So in order to consume, it's very easy. Okay, just get simmering water and have the product into the simmering water for around 10 to 15 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, it's fast because it is boneless. Okay, if you have the whole carcass of the chicken inside, it's actually takes time to reheat. But if it's boneless, it is actually easier. Right? And next we have the soup that we have just regenerated as well. Yeah.
那这个鸡肉呢，我们是做好之后，我们就真空包装，然后去做速冻技术，在零下10度，所以整只鸡它可以保存那个 texture 味觉还有味道。那如果说你 就是这样子的鸡哦，我们做好之后很方便，就是有时候临时有客人来，我没有时间去煮，那怎么办？那像这种菜肴你要做的话，至少要1个钟头前。再不要说呢，去骨头这个功夫还是要有一定的麻烦度，所以这样子你买了之后，你回去放冰箱。临时有客人来要配酒啊，朋友来喝酒喝啤酒啊，那你只要在微波炉去烤一烤，15分钟就可以出来了，或者是用热水去泡一泡它的熏味还是在的，因为它是用真空包装的，所以你切了出来上盘之后又好看，第二味道也好，配酒也好，这是非常方便的这样一个做法。
Okay, so it is very easy and convenient because if you want to prepare it from the scratch, you actually consume time and actually consume a lot of space. So with this kind of packaging, it's very simple. Once you need it, just defrost and put it into hot water or microwave. Just bring it up to heat and it's ready to serve. Okay, the flavors and fragrance is all being protected inside this vacuum packaging. So when we open it later, the flavors and the fragrance of the tea will still be preserved, right? Okay, as well as the soup. So now what we're gonna do, 还有这个汤。
对，这个汤的话也是一样哦。我们这个汤因为是用速冻技术包装好了之后呢，那你不用去等它解冻，因为鸡肉是需要解冻，是它会需要完全解冻了再加热，那个是为口感会影响口感。如果你是没有解冻的话，但是汤就不需要了，更快了，你只要放到热水里面去滚一滚，那大概15分钟后，只要溶解够热了，你就可以熬来喝。那这个就是我们方便在办公室的伙伴们，你可以用这样的一个汤来作为调补，而不需要要等起火，然后炖汤要隔水炖，然后还要去看这个水到底是会不会干。那这样的一个过程，完全就是以现代科技来讲都可以解决了，而且可以保障这样子。来，我们就示范一下这个弄好的鸡，是非常烫不容易
汤。
那个对，那你看各位这里的过程当中已经开始有冒烟这个就是要熏的过程中，让茶叶呢能够产生一定的效果，你一定要有烟熏味，所以你家里一定要有抽油烟机那记得要买抽油烟机可以找我们 SCC 是有卖吗？OK， 好的，所以这里头我们熏好了这个鸡了之后呢，那要让它有点冒烟这样子的香气会更好。
As you can see, the preparing process of this chicken is a little bit more complicated because when we smoke it actually generates a lot of smoke. So having all this convenient packaging is actually a very good advantage. Yeah. So this is actually how it looks like. Okay. Right. And I'm going to plate the soup as well.
是这样子的摆盘的鸡呢，待会会有镜头给大家看得到，很方便。你要吃的时候就用剪刀去剪你爱怎么剪就怎么剪，然后它也没有骨头，就很好看又好吃，就可以分配。那这是我们冬虫夏草已经是1个人的份
And this is a cordyceps soup, okay, for 1 person portion. Yeah. All right.
也差不多了。
So now it's a time. If you have any question to ask, this is the time for you to forward the question down at the chat below. Okay, while we are waiting for the first questions, I see that there is some products over here which is for confinement. Chef Liam, can you please?
对，我介绍一下，我们还有一个主要的主打产品一开始做的是这个月子善汤，月子就是坐月子调理的confinement的这个汤，也不敢动。好的，那像这个汤的话，也是一样用这个技术我们有6个阶段。那像现在市场上你很难找到有6个阶段的调理汤，因为呢，我们是从医疗角度去出发的从中医角度、医疗角度去研究说，人在坐月子当中有调理是需要有这样的一个阶段来做调理，包括了生化汤，就是第5天前5天里面的活血去瘀的药膳汤。好，OK， 所以做这个熏鸡是需要有一个环境条件，所以你在家里做不到，所以要跟我买就是这个原因，开玩笑。那在调理过程当中，我们第2阶段是会补中气那因为人体的话，在调补不会说直接去补气血、补肾气什么的所以一定要先调中气。所谓中气，就是说我们的吸收能力和代谢功能要加强。 加强之后，它才会到时候你在补的时候就会有效果。所以第3阶段、第4阶段都是补气血，然后进入第4阶段的时候，你就可以做 selfie 了。为什么？那个时候基本上如果调得好的话，我们脸色不会这样苍白，然后也不会有水肿啊。那个时候开始会脸色会比较消瘦，那时候你就可以开始做 selfie 了。那最后一个阶段的话，第6个阶段我们调理其实第5个阶段我们正式大补了哦。那个时候会补筋骨、补强补肾、补血。这个时候你就开始讲究补。为什么你可以做大补呢？因为前面阶段走了之后呢，你就不会容易上火，所以才会做大补。那第6个阶段就是中医讲的，就是一切都是以我们讲阴平阳秘，就是说它要取得平衡，不是一直补上去就是补的比较好，因为它会过热。所以我们讲的阴平阳秘就是它让它平衡。所以第6个阶段是把五脏六腑稍微做平衡调理就好了，而那个时候就不能做大补。所以我们会有6个阶段的一个效果。所以因此这样子而产生了一个很好的效果之外，你就不用再烦说要准备什么药材汤去，不需要。我有一个顾客就吃这一套，然后家里他是因为自己是营养师，3餐里面他也没有讲究说非得要姜酒去麻油鸡，他也没有，他就吃得很简单，然后吃了这一套都可以调得很好，而且奶质也很多。所以当然，如果我们华人来讲，我也希望说能够有麻油鸡像我们这种像刚才这个盐焗鸡也是可以作为药膳里面的一个方式，只不过你多加一点麻油下去的话，那感觉就更棒了。这样的一个方式就可以做调理了。
So in Chinese culture, especially after we give birth, after the lady give birth to the children, what they will do is actually when they will eat a lot of herbal cuisine, which is one thing to actually nourish their body, and also what they will do is actually having all this nourishment soup. Yeah. So for with Dr. Nyam here, he actually have a series of 6 different stages of confinement soup. Okay, targeting to nourish the body after we give birth. The first 4 stages is actually to strengthen the immune system and to build up, the strength of our organ to build up the foundations. Okay, before coming to stage 5 and stage 6, where they actually giving you a lot of nourishment. Yeah, so the first 4 is to build the foundation. The 5th stage and 6th stage is the stage or the soup whereby it actually give you the true strengthen to boost your immune system at the later stage. Yeah. So during the confinement period, the lady, the mom actually will go through nourishment soup and also nourishment food product. Yeah. So if for modern mom, that you don't have the recipes, that you don't have the time to actually do all this, it is very easily to just go and visit Dr. Nyam clinical center and also the restaurants, and you can have all this ready and prepared for you. Right? So for the Chinese culture, this confinement period is actually very important. Okay, because after we give birth, the body is very weak and they need a lot of nourishment to actually build back the antibody and build back the strength of the body. All right. So do we have our question today?
可以用别的茶叶吗 ？OK， 可以的当然我会鼓励的就是用一些黑茶吧，比方说6安茶之外呢，有6宝茶也是可以用的那如果说你的还有一个就是我之前有用过的这种红茶也可以的，马来西亚红茶也是可以用的当然功效来讲，我们会首选还是以6安或者6宝为主啦。
Okay, the question is that can they substitute with any other type of tea? So as recommended by Dr. Nyam, you can use other type of tea, but it's recommended to be black tea or maybe red tea that we have in Malaysia. Okay, but the most common use with better nutritional value will be the Luan tea, or 还有一个是什么茶？
一个是6宝茶，
六宝茶，Lubo tea. So this kind of tea we have higher medicinal values. Okay.
可以介绍你的产品，包括叶子三汤和其他3汤我刚才有介绍的就是叶子3汤，然后还有6种9种产品，就包括了补血的8珍3汤，然后调味的养胃3汤，然后有安神养神的，就是失眠的这个养心3汤，然后老人家调理的这个滋阴3汤，因为老人阴虚嘛然后包括了一个现在办公室情绪不好，尤其是 MCO 过后，我们的情绪就压力被解封前和解封后都有很大的波动情绪会波动，那我们有肝脉大转汤等等的，所以 我们的汤9种呢，就有一个很好的方式，就是你只要对号入座，所以你们可以联络我们红居馆，就是我们会有人服务给大家。
Okay, the soup that we have is 9 varieties of different soup targeting different parts of the body, different parts of organ. So when you are there, they actually can recommend you depending on your constitution, what issues that you have, which part or which area that you like to nourish better. They will recommend you the correct type of soup, and also the confinement series that they have showcased here, which is the six stages of confinement soup. Yeah.
OK， 还有我们下一个问题。
The next one will be
可以介绍哪些汤包？OK， 我们今天主要是教大家认识说速冻技术和药膳它的这个概念和知识啦，所以我们并没有卖什么汤包。现在 OK， 那当然很多时候你们爱买汤包都可以到药材店去买啊，都有各种汤包。那我们做的是一个药膳，那药膳和汤包、药材汤包有一点不同。就是像我前面讲的，药膳它是有一些目的性的，我们是要从营养角度去达到丰富的营养吸收，然后还有功效。当然这里头也包括了厨艺的部分，这样子啊。
Okay, so today we are just sharing with everyone the usage of cook and chill into the herbal cuisine. Okay, but it's not necessary about the type of herbal packet that we are using. But it is actually different from herbal packet and actually herbal cuisine, because herbal packet is what you can get generally outside, and what they are having here is very specific. Okay, towards a certain needs, certain body constitution. Okay, they will give you actually a formula, or they will give you a menu that is suitable for your current condition. Okay, so with a certain medicinal effect. So it is different from using convenient packet that you have outside. So if you like to know more about soups, okay, if you want to know more about what is suitable for yourself, you can actually go to Red East Restaurant, okay, or you visit the Facebook. You can inquire more about herbal cuisines. Yeah.
冬虫夏草鸡精能不能天天喝哦？我们的这个9种南洋膳汤呢是没有鼓励天天喝的，因为天天喝的是家里那种包的一般的药材汤哈。我们这个属于药膳，所以它是4天喝一次，它有一个疗程，所以我们卖的时候是5包一个疗程。那为什么要喝完5包呢？就是4天一次，4天一次，大概你可以喝到20天。那这个时候我们人体才会产生一定的效应。这样子才有效果，所以我们是直接针对说我要调理我的身体是要有效果的，所以我们是4天喝一次基本上每一个汤都是4天喝一次，除非你有特殊的疾病，那就要问主治医师。那我们会建议咯，有一些病人他确实是要2天到3天喝一次的，那个是特别的建议所以基本上是4天一次
The question earlier was the regularity of consuming this soup. So according to Dr. Niam here, this soup is not suitable for daily consumption. You cannot have this like every day once, but once every 4 days. Yeah. So when we get one series, it's actually there is 5 packaging inside. So every 4 days, so it will last for 20 days. So we need a duration of 20 days for our body to actually absorb the nutrition. Okay, from the soup itself. Okay. So there are also some special condition, or there are also some special cases whereby you need to consume every 2 to 3 days. So it depends on the body constitution and the needs of the body. All right?
冷冻科技我可以在哪里学？这个我们就要有。
Okay. About the blast chilling technology. Okay. What you can do is, as you see here is our distributor. Okay. If you have any questions about the process and also the machines, we are actually able to help you and give you recommendation how to process and how to produce. Okay. So what you need to do is just make an appointment with SCC, and then we will actually make one day available. You come over to the showroom with your product itself, then we can do a test, we can do a recommendation, we also can give you some solutions if you would like to do cook and chill in this sense. Right?
Okay, 如果体质比较容易发热气的话，可以喝我们的汤是吗？刚刚介绍的是冬虫夏草汤那冬虫夏草鸡精它是稍微首选的补品药物。那对于如果有上火的人就比较容易上火，但是一般如果你没有上火的时候，你喝不是问题那为什么很多人会问这个问题？尤其是刚才下一题也是问容易流鼻血应该喝哪一种汤就是容易流鼻血或者是上火也好，那是因为我们在调理的市场上常常会把药来作为主轴 然后药的比例过度的时候，不对的时候就会上火。所以药膳就不是这个角度了，药膳是说我要以普及化、比较柔和的配方比例来让大家能够慢慢一点一点的调理。所以为什么我们会4天喝一次？基本上在我们的顾客当中。因为冬虫草太贵了啊，这个是才主要的问题，所以补冬虫草是不会热的哈，但是它有很大的一个就是蛋白质的提供的一个功能，还有一个就是它们激起了我们人体的热能，所以你喝起来的时候你会觉得 energy 很多，是这样的一个功效啦。
Okay. All these medical herbs I cannot explain too much, but what I can transmit is that the question earlier is that it will be heatiness if we actually consume the product, which is a soup. Okay, heatiness, which means it's easy to like nosebleed and all. So according to Dr. Yam, it will not be, because herbal cuisine is actually very mild. It is not a medicine. Okay, and sometimes when we consume certain product and it promotes heatiness, is because the proportion used is wrong, or the proportion used is not suitable for you. So that's why after you consume, you feel the heatiness, you have nosebleed. It's because the proportion used is different. So, but for herbal cuisine, it is being generalized. The nutritional value or the proportion used is rather low. So that is the reason why you need a longer period of consumptions, and it will actually have less effect. For example, heatiness and all, and unless we drink too much less water. Okay. All right, or we have other issues on our body, then it will have. Otherwise, for regular consumption like this, it will not have any big issues. Yeah. Okay. So next, if we have any other questions after this, let's see. Any other questions? All right, so we do not have any questions so far, so I will thank everyone for staying until the end with us, and I also thank Dr. Nyam for being here with us, sharing with us the background of herbal cuisine and his ideology behind using cook and chill for his preparation today. Yeah, so blast chiller is not only for Western food, right? It's only for not Western food preparation, but now it's also being incorporated into herbal cuisine as well. So it actually depends on how we utilize the technology to enhance the benefit of our product, to enhance the benefit of our production.
谢谢 SCC 给我一个机会来这里给我们说药膳啊，谢谢大家。
Okay, and also he thanked everyone for being invited here to share with everyone about herbal cuisine. So if you have any other questions about herbal cuisine, if you have any sickness maybe that you would like to be nourished, okay, feel free to go to the website, okay, for further inquiries, or you can actually go to the clinic, the traditional medical clinic hall, or maybe the Red Geese restaurant, that you can inquire more how can you effectively nourish yourself, right? But if you have questions, how can you actually do the same thing like what Dr. Nyam is doing? If you are interested with cook and chill product, if you are interested with the machine that we can use to actually do all these productions, okay, you can actually drop your comment, okay, drop your inquiries below at the chat below, and then we will have our colleague follow up with you. We can always make a time for you to drop by to our showroom, okay, and then we can do the test together. All right, so thank you everyone for staying tuned, okay, and I hope to see you again next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.